या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्मश्रुतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती विशेषजाड्यापः शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसार परमा माद्यां जगद्व्यापिनी वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापः हस्ते स्फटिकमालिकां विदधति पद्मासने संस्थिता वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिं प्रदां शारदां बुद्धिं प्रदां शारदां बुद्धिं प्रदां शारदां बुद्धिं प्रदां शारदां। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, who all are there?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. At 8:30 we have been called, and what's the purpose? Namrata ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
We have gathered here for the climate reality session, children. Are you excited? Sunita ma'am is going to pour some light on climate reality. You all
Yes, ma'am.
know this global warming is increasing day by day. Carbon dioxide level is increasing. So what is
Yes.
the harm that is happening to our environment?
Thank you, Namrata ma'am. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
we are very excited to see your presentation.
God bless you, child.
Carefully.
So at the onset, let me do my namaskar to everybody present here, including children. Thank you for joining punctually, because punctuality is the first prerequisite of your path to success. So my presentation here and what is the need, I'll first clarify that. You're working incessantly for the Sustainable Development Goals, and some fantastic work is coming out. So I thought maybe bringing something more to your knowledge apart from what you already know will be very good. Thanks to the director, Dr. Ashok Kumar Pandey, we were ushered on the path of Sustainable Development Goals, and 2 years ago, that was in 2018, we joined this Climate Reality Project, which is initiated by the Vice President, ex-Vice President of US, Al Gore, if you've heard the name. And this is one project which is making waves throughout the world, making, sensitizing people towards their responsibility towards the Mother Earth, towards the environment. So at the onset, let me thank my director, sir, and Sir Al Gore for, this presentation, because the first part of the presentation, which you'll be witnessing, it has been sent by the Climate Reality Project itself. So I'm beginning here. Before that, let me ask you, how are you feeling today? Is somebody excited? Somebody said that he was excited. Somebody must be wondering, what is it on Monday morning? What have they done? Straight away, open your eyes and there is a project to be watched or seen by Sunita ma'am. And I hope they won't give us any task after this. And then somebody must be wondering, yeah, what is it going to be climate reality? We are doing enough. Somebody I hope is not angry with me. And if somebody is angry, let me say, pardon me, you're going to enjoy it anyway. So moving on to the presentation, giving me 1 second, yes. So climate reality. So please ponder on the word reality. It is not a project, it is a reality which I'm sharing with you. And the reality will show you in the various pictures and the data that will be shared with you. So the reality is going to be in front of you, but remember, the Mother Earth, environment and protecting is our responsibility, is my responsibility. So I must thank the Climate Reality Leadership Corps for sharing this presentation and training us. I'm also a climate reality leader, but thanks to the mentors. Proceeding on. So the solutions are also here, but the problem, let us understand it properly. This is your beautiful blue planet, children. And this blue planet is where we all live. It looks like a beautiful gem, isn't it? And it looks like the best, beautiful, glowing, blue sapphire kind of a gemstone from the space, right? But we know very well how the earth is plagued. We are suffering and the earth is suffering and all the living beings are suffering very badly because of some gross mistakes that we are committing. Now, so must we change? Can we change? And the most important question, will we change? Let me first tackle the first question. Must we change? What's the need to change, ma'am? Life is fine. If I go out into the balcony, I find, everything is okay. Birds are on the trees. There is greenery. I am happy. Even the air is better now. And I think the things are improving now. Let me slightly bring something important to your knowledge. This is the lovely horizon and you can see the sun shining every morning that happens. Solar radiation in the form of light waves passes through the atmosphere. You know this, science teachers have taught us. Most of this radiation is absorbed by the earth and warms it, which is very necessary. Otherwise, the plants and the living beings will not be able to survive. But some energy is radiated back into the space by the earth in the form of infrared waves, right? Some of this outgoing infrared radiation is trapped. Please note, this is trapped by the Earth's atmosphere and warms it. So ultimately what happens? You know what? This radiation is trapped, but what are we doing? We are spewing 152 million tons of man-made global warming pollution into the thin shell of our atmosphere every 24 hours, as if it was an open sewer. And what? Look at this. What are we all doing? We have the biggest sources of greenhouse gases is not those waves, or not those rays coming from the sun. See, we are using the air transport, we are using the oil production, crop burning, the parali that is burnt and makes Delhi's atmosphere so difficult to breathe that we had to wear masks even before Corona was there. Then we have industrial processes, we have coal plants, thawing permafrost and coal mining, land transport, landfills, everything. And you also know about the forest burning, which is also a burning question now. So the largest source of global warming pollution is the burning of fossil fuels. I'm sure your science teachers have told you what is a fossil fuel. This is last year's data and you see the highest peak is reached in 2019. 2020 data is more alarming, And then look at this, the global surface temperature is highest or was highest in 2020. So it is actually red alert, absolute red alert, children. Why I'm sharing all this with you? Because you are the future citizens. You are the ones who are going to actually lead a number of projects in the world. So 19 of the 20 hottest years on record have occurred since the year 2001. And just guess what? It is 2018. No, the freshest data says 2020 was the hottest year that was there in the calendar. So Phoenix and Miami both experienced their hottest months ever. That was last one, that was July 2020, because this presentation is last year's. And Australia heat wave, you must have read in the newspapers. You must have known that in 2020, January 5, Canberra set a new all-time high temperature record of 111.2 on January 4. And then this is Ghana, just see 101.2 Fahrenheit, so 44 degrees centigrade, imagine. And then Europe's hottest year was 2019, but last year's record says it was higher than that. And the temperature in Verkhansk was 100.4 Fahrenheit, that is 38 degrees. These are the colder countries, the coldest countries, no, and the colder countries. But they are also experiencing this much. Now this is your blue planet, and 93% of the extra heat trapped by man-made global warming pollution goes into the ocean. Imagine the aquatic life. And then ocean temperatures are rising also. So the red line on the right hand side will tell you how they are rising. And then you see the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean. Here the storms started rising, and the destruction in the northern Caribbean before reaching the US Gulf Coast was really, really devastating. So Santo Domingo, you can see this was Storm Laura. It killed at least 8 people in Dominican Republic. And then the temperatures increase, the oceans evaporate, more moisture into the sky. And then the worst happens, the storms are brewing like anything. So you know this water cycle very well. Evaporation, then precipitation, then the water returns to the sea, then again evaporates, and this goes on and on and on. But the heat ultimately does what? The heat brings more storms. So typhoon, 578,000 people were affected by this typhoon in Philippines. And then, you know, India, Bangladesh, Dhaka, and you know, Sundarban Delta. So you know what this farmer says, the farmer Chandan Das says, the Sundarbans is finished. Amphan has killed it. All our crops, even our trees have been destroyed. What will they do? So just imagine cyclone evacuation camp in Orissa, children like you, just facing a dual challenge of cyclone and then COVID-19. So this is almost a double, blow from the nature. And the gravest effects of all attacks on the environment are suffered by the poorest. So this is now, the next thing is, you know this very well, the cyclones, when they become very, very torrential, very, very bigger in size, the devastation is really unimaginable. So just to go to tennis, the torrential rains caused severe flooding in parts. What you saw in the previous picture was a cloud burst. And this was last February. This is the New Jersey. This is US, Louisiana. And you know, it impacts the black neighborhoods more. So globally, floods and extreme rainfall events now occur 4 times more often than in 1980. And then this is the picture of Bihar. This year's monsoon's rainfall in Bihar is 50% higher than normal. India's monsoon's rain caused at least 742 deaths in July 2020. This is a picture from China. You know very well it is becoming very, very difficult to save lives. Picture from Kenya, thanks to the team Climate Reality, they gathered everything. The same extra heat that evaporates more water from the ocean, causing bigger downpours and floods, pulls moisture even more quickly from the soil, causing longer and deeper droughts. So you, on one side, it's floods and rains and cyclones and torrential rains and storms. On the other side, you have droughts. So it is so difficult. Imagine in Chennai, this is Chembarambakkam Lake in Chennai, and it is the 6th largest city, nearly ran out of water as the reservoirs dried up. And California fires, we've read it about that in the news, and really it was ridding how many animals lost their lives. And this is uncontrollable. 360 wildfires burning across California. You may think man has advanced so much in technology, but are we able to control the elements of nature? No. This is again another county in California. And then this is Australia fires. You must be thinking these are pretty orange dots. Good morning, children. These are not dots, these are fires. And these fires, climate change is taking its toll on southern Europe. So what I'm trying to bring out here is catastrophes are rising with every passing year. You see the 19 graph, which is highest on the top. You can see the bars highest here. The red alert is sounding here. And then let me take you to the icy Greenland, right? This is a picture of 1935. And you see summer 2013, 10 years later, the graph shows the declining ice mass in Greenland. In 2020, you can see the graph is lowest. So the ice mass is melting. Where is the water going? It is flowing down into the lands, bringing rains, cloudbursts, and landslides. So this is ice sheet in Greenland. It is melting 4 times faster than originally thought, and more is melting from the permanent ice sheet from the glaciers. Now, Antarctic ice loss is also high because you are children who are really aware about the world, the globe. We call you global citizens. You see the top 10 cities at risk from sea level. Please don't miss out. Your Mumbai is here. Your Kolkata is here. Right? These are the 10 top cities, but 2 cities from India are also featured in this graph. And then you see this is a garage, the Miami Beach garage, and an octopus has come floating here. Why? Because the ocean is entering the land. So to a 129 billion worth of New York City real estate now lies in the flood zones. And you know, the Kiribati is the first nation to purchase land. Why? So that in another country to house its climate refugees. They're not able to house their own refugees. So US Department of Defense, it says climate change will likely lead to food and water shortages, pandemic diseases, disputes over refugees. You know, we have got such tussle about Rohingyas, and resources and destruction by natural disasters in regions across the globe. So this is going to be the new threat, children, because that is a word that is going to be in future. Climate change is a medical emergency. And just look at this blue. Blue is West Nile virus. Cobalt blue is Rift Valley fever. Purple is chikungunya. Green is Chagas disease. Yellow is Getty fungus. Red is dengue fever, and pink is Zika virus, right? These are the diseases which are now actually getting, being born out of these problems. And as the climate changes and humans expand further into Earth's remaining wild places, 5 new infectious diseases are emerging every year. You know this, what we are suffering from, and we are locked into our houses. All these diseases born out of animals are called zoonotic. And then you see a study of 324 cities in China found increase in COVID-19 cases in areas. So we now risk losing up to 50% of all land-based species in this century. Now, so must we change? The first question, and answer is only yes, we have to change. Can we change? I think we have solutions in hand. So what are the solutions? See, that solar energy reaches Earth every hour to fill the world's energy needs for a full year. So global electric cars on the roads can be encouraged. Next time when your parents plan to buy a car, you can think of buying an electric car which is run by a battery and not by the fuels which add, more carbon dioxide into the air. So can we change? Your answer should be yes. But the most important is you can change and you must change. The main thing is, will we change? And here you see in 2015, every nation in the world agreed to work together to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions, right? And you see the next one, over 240 global companies, you buy branded things, they have made a commitment to go 100% renewable. Now just try to spot some of the brands which you buy, right? All these countries have taken an oath that they'll be going renewable, right? So you should be happy that the change is coming, and the change is coming because children are raising their voices. Children are becoming more aware. They're demanding that, more justice be done. So join those who are using their voices, their votes, their choices to fight for their future, their community and their world, and use your voice, your vote, and your choices. Speak truth to power like your world depends on it, because this one important planet Our world depends on it. So you will say, ma'am, Monday morning you are bombarding me with so much data, so much negative news. I am feeling as if the world is going to come to an end. Child, the tragedy is it will if we don't wake up now. So your question will be, I am a small child, I'm sitting in my home, I'm not even able to go to my school and do something, what can I do? My answer is here. Every person, if wakes up, then the change will start. Now I'm asking you to pull the plug. When I'm saying pull the plug, did you know that keeping a device on a standby mode can cost you a lot in a year? In money terms as well as in energy. The total standby energy use of all households adds up to 19 million tons of CO2 every year. So next time when Papa removes his mobile phone from the charger, but the switch is on, pull the plug. Then just check out where is the refrigerator placed in your kitchen or in the house. If it is placed in a cold place away from heat sources and doesn't set the temperature lower, don't set the temperature lower than necessary, then things will be better. For every degree lower, sometimes you think that let me, make it lower a degree and it will be colder soon. It uses 4% more electricity. And remember, when you go on a holiday, always defrost it and switch it off. People don't do this. And cook with gas. Every time we switch on the microwave, even for a small bowl of pasta, it takes more energy and emits more CO2. So a gas stove consumes only half the primary energy of electric stove because it can generate heat instantly. An electric stove produces an average of 253 grams of CO2 per use. Turn off the light. Your Dadaji and Dadiji must be telling you that beta wahan se nikle ho to light off karke aao, and you must be fretting every time they keep on giving the same direction. I am appealing to you. In your house, you be the champion who should be telling all the family members, आप अगर वहां से निकल रहे हैं तो कमरे की light, AC, पंखा सब बंद करके आइए. Because that is not only going to save you the electricity bill, but also it is going to make a large difference because these are the small mistakes which are leading to the larger tragedy which Earth is actually falling prey to. And choose the right kitchen. So when you use this, if you're using the hot water kettle, normally people use in winters, just for half cup of water, don't switch it on. And biggest thing which I always keep on saying, say no to plastic bags. My bag, whenever you come to school, you can check it. I always carry a cloth bag. Have your mother, make a very small cloth bag which you can shove in like a handkerchief in your pocket if you go to market, and say no if they give you things in a plastic bag. Do not buy pens and stationery unnecessary if you don't need it. Rather go for a refill than a new pen, is what I would say. And optimize your diet. Natural and healthy foods, they don't come in Tetra packs. They are the best one to eat. You know this very well, and Corona has taught us this lesson very nicely. So go out in the street and make your voice heard. Sometimes children tell me, ma'am, जो सिगरेट पी करके सड़क पर फेंकते हैं वो तो बड़े होते हैं, उनसे हम कैसे बोलें? My advice to you is please tell them, हाथ जोड़िए और उनसे बोलिए, sir यहाँ गंदा मत करिए. And this is my area, my locality, and your locality too. Let us keep it clean. And best part is start organic farming on terrace. You'll be saving, you'll be having an interesting pastime, and then you'll be having the healthiest of things. And that is going to really save a lot of money and a lot of trouble, and a lot of saving you also from the illness too. And most importantly, don't waste water. The WWW, I always say, it reminds you why waste water. So water is something which is actually wasted a lot. If mummy washes dal and chawal, ask her to put the things, the rinsed water in a container. You can go and put it in the plants. You can use it for, mopping in the house. And whatever water is dispelled by the ROs, all the houses have ROs. I discovered during this pandemic that if I want 1 bucket of drinking water, my RO actually throws out 3 buckets of water. And we carefully collect it. We use it for watering plants, mopping. The maid who comes, I give it for jhadu pocha. I said, don't use anything else, use this water, because we have to value every drop. So climate reality, children, is our responsibility. Every effort is going to make a difference. And if we don't do it, we think if it is somebody else's job, that is a big mistake. Government is not going to come to your house to do things. We are doing these little mistakes, and that is actually costing us so much. So my request to everyone is, I am waking you up and bringing you back into the meeting and stopping sharing, because I'm keeping an eye on the clock also. Are we back into the meeting, Taranu ma'am? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
my dear children, you know the best part, don't think you are small children. आप बड़ों को कुछ कह नहीं सकते, जरूर कह सकते हैं. आप alkanites हैं. कहने का तरीका मीठा होना चाहिए. So simply, if you find any, you know, in my locality, I found the shopkeepers, what they were doing with the carton, they had taken out the things from that empty carton would be thrown on the street. So my way was, earlier I used to never say, but now I join my hands, hold it, and simply say, "Sir, ganda mat kariye." Yahi se hamare bacche guzrenge, and they listen. If you say it politely, if you say it nicely, and if you say it with the urgency that we need to keep things clean and surroundings clean, we need to do and take action, because you are the future citizens and you have to save the earth. That is it from my side. So I was very sure that I'll close it 5 minutes before and go back, talk to your class teachers, because I know in such a large group, we are 137, we can't do talking at this point of time, and I'll not waste even your single minute. So when you go back, talk to your teachers. We are going to come back again and we are going to think what more can be done. And if you really think you have an idea, ma'am, this also can be done, please do share and call me in your class. I will be there and we'll take it further. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enriching words. आपने बहुत अच्छे steps बताए, बच्चे जो doable कर सकते हैं.
जी जी.
And ma'am, आपसे inspire होके इधर बच्चे ने एक chat box में लिखा है. This Devika Goval. She has written, "One day my dadi was buying me chocolate, and that uncle was saying take this plastic bag too. So I said that I can't take this plastic bag, and then my dadi bought me another chocolate for this sentence." So very nice, Devika.
So sweet. My son carries, you know, we've made a, I wish I could show it to you. It's a simple cloth bag made from, you know, made at home. He wraps it and keeps it in his pocket like a handkerchief. So anytime if it is needed, not always, but anytime if it is needed, he can take it out and we can do it. And sometimes it is necessary, I fully agree. But if it is necessary, then try to take only one plastic bag and try to reuse it. But the best way is refuse. Refusing is the best way. Telling Papa, I don't need a new pen, my old pen is working. My lunch box is okay. Every time with a new year, I don't need a new lunch box, a new bottle. No, that's a concept that we have to grow out of, right? So keep on reusing the plastic you have and keep on refusing wherever you can, which is a single-use plastic. Fine, thank you. I think we can wrap it off and children should be on time for their first class. God bless you.